afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane. Master Propaganda Heroes like Defender of the Fatherland. Often exciting on 1 vs 1 on Semoisky between the North Guard here, Fortune, fighting for King and Country, the Commonwealth. Taking on the road here with the 52nd Integration task with holding the line as the Germans under CCarts here fighting for the 2nd Panzer Division, charge forward here with elite troops. He's got infantry, stormtrooper, and Tiger as bulletins. He's, by the way, a huge fan of elite troops. Versus tactical support, commander regiment, and special weapons of Fortune with an armored car bulletin and double infantry. Starting here with a double section start, moving down here straight through the center, not even going for the fuel at all. And a very aggressive bold move here by Fortune, and certainly also a bit risky. If he doesn't get any fuel, then very quickly. CCarts still focusing on the center as well. MG42 Pioneers rushing forward as well, so both players just lunging in towards the center. They're not caring about the resources at all. In this case, Fortune's basically going to get the edge because he doesn't have to build any initial buildings. He can just push out his first infantry squad fast here, where CCarts had to spend time building up the Infantry company. Getting caught here with the section now, occupying his cut-off point, making very difficult for CCarts to push ahead here. So with this, Fortune has gained a bit of an edge there. 3rd section arriving here, no victors so far for Fortune, just start British infantry. Pioneers 742 up in the section there. Hundreds of bullets streaming towards the house. Pioneers still dropping first though, to the marksmanship of the British soldier. Following up with the mortar to try and relieve pressure on the point here and basically force Fortune out, also make it hard for Fortune to fight around the centre, but his Pioneers will have to retreat here. Section falling back as soon as that happens, getting a bit shot at by the MG42. Continued pressure, grabbing up north. Grenadiers moving towards the southern fuel point here. Mortar almost done for CCarts. Got the MG42 moving ahead. Bit aggressive build here by CCarts. He doesn't know Fortune saying about here in theory, but he seems confident. Fortune going for 4th section. So we're seeing an infantry build here for Fortune. Very infantry heavy. 4 full sections. 16 men. Up close, M42 versus section there. Fortune just seems to sort of weave in about. We've got a mortar moving up as well here. And go mortar fire around the church. First shot though goes a bit too far and hits the road. Instead, and there goes second shot hits, but he weaves in between the mortar rounds, avoiding them, just getting in there for a few shots as well. But this time he can't avoid it. I think what he's trying to do is basically prevent CCR from just rushing towards the church with his MG42 and the other units, creating a bit of this sort of weird situation. It requires also a lot of management there from Fortunes. I mean, if he makes one misclick here, could quickly go wrong. He has to suddenly pay attention elsewhere. So it's a bit of a weird move. These will probably rush for the house there. MG42 now switching back up. Pioneers moving in, section moving back. MG42 falling back for reinforcements. But up close to the Pioneers should be able to beat the section since they're not getting the car bonus. And there go the MP40s overcome British flesh and blood. Over here, section 2 to grab territory there for Fortune and the 52nd Infantry. Got more Grenadiers out here for CCarts. Troops reinforcing. No tech up yet. He'll probably go for at least one more infantry squad. He will also probably try and aim for G43s as soon as he can. He's very much a big fan of those, and they are quite a fast boost. The Grenadiers certainly giving them a nice bit there to go on, allowing them to push their opponents a bit more aggressively around. Also quite a good counter in that sense. The Brits, if they're sort of going aggressively, infantry can sort of try and push slightly ahead there with the G43s, giving a slight edge. The sort of engagements out in the open. Fortune following up with the sappers, noting no support weapons yet for Fortune and the 52nd Infantry Division, just pure infantry and trenches. Ground the centre victory point. The MG42 moving up, Grenadiers moving up the west side. G40, no G43s actually yet for any of the Grenadiers, despite having gone straight for it. Interesting move. Or perhaps he's just preoccupied with other things. Looks like he is not taking up. Oh, there we go. We've got more Grenadiers, but still could take up as well. Could take up. Getting control of the centre, but Fortune sort of moving about, grabbing other parts of the map. And looks like he's planning on shifting up towards the corner house here, and that way put pressure on Fortune around here. Sappers moving on the minesweepers, certainly assuming here that CCarts will lay down mines to control the area. Not a bad idea there at all by Fortune. Not a bad idea at all. And he is still not getting upgraded there. Sappers moving in there, got mortar fire in the trench, but we can see that already Fortune is moving away. He knows there's a mortar about, and he knows that there's not any firing camping at some point. He's probably expecting to get hit there. Back here, reinforcement going on. We've got grenades on the for Fortune to assail CCarts positions to clear out those hands with a good old nose bomb. More sections moving in. MD42 moving up here. Down here, sappers moving about, harassing and cutting off CCarts territory behind him. Grenades to the section. There go G for the fuse up close, and that should pretty much give them the advantage. The concussive grenade goes off there. Stielhandgranate. Technically, it was a concussive grenade. That is, it relies on a shock wave to do the damage, but they would later upgrade though with fragmentation sleeves to make it a bit more lethal versus infantry in general, though again they had to sort of fit it as an extra detail there on top of the grenade. The overall advantage of the Stielhandgranate though was basically the stick, which allowed you to throw it further away than most other grenades. It was also what the Soviets relied on, essentially stick grenades, so I think their stick was a bit shorter. Of course it also made it easy to grab and sort of toss back in a sense, I suppose, but it gave them extra range basically with those grenades. Grabbing territory up here. You can see again Fortune strikes, and he's laying down Y here as well there. Sneaky, very sneaky there by Fortune. I mean, they couldn't be rushing a light vehicle up here anytime soon, so it might not even do anything for him, but I mean, I like the gesture. I like the gesture of it. The guy like to make a nice company down here for CCarts. That's only going to force all of his troop body to retreat through here instead. Armoured car following up there for Fortune and the 52nd. And Fortune remains in a strong lockdown position. Got moving in it, pushing back the sappers. But the damage has essentially already been done. He's been cut off from territory. Then we can see CCarts is doing his best to return the favour to Fortune there by hitting his fuel point. And he's just continuing to push down here. Apparently a bit oblivious to the MU-42. His men, though, are not. And they are quickly reminded of its presence by 1,200 rounds. Or 1,200 reminders per minute. I suppose you could put it like that. Armoured car almost down there. Grenadiers standing about for the fatherland.
Heavy armored car ready. Our capture point. They're trying to take it. AEC ready to move.
Stormtroopers ready here for CCarts. He's certainly a fan of using those as well. Not so much for the assault rifles, but he likes the G-42s and he likes the Panzerschrecks. There you go. Minesweeper's up, cutting a wire. At which point, I mean, Fortune essentially forced him to have to spend that. But then again, he might be assuming mines from Fortune, so, you know, not so big. But who knows? But there you go. Got a Stormtrooper squad out here supporting the Grenadiers up north. Basically further reinforcing his fuel grab there. And Fortune, for some reason, keeps attacking through here. That seems a bit peculiar, to be honest. Like, he could easily attack through here, making much better progress. Of course, there would be a bit more German resistance. But more importantly, there'd not be a bloody MT-42 in the way. So this seems a bit odd there by Fortune, a bit bullheaded, I feel. And there you go. His entire force held up by an MD-42. You got incendiary pistol now, just to add insult to injury, or in this case, more injury to injury. Of course, his armor car is still doing a lot of damage to the MD-42 up at this range. Nonetheless, most of the infantry assault has been brutally halted here. You might actually have to retreat the MD-42, so this is actually going to end up working out for Fortune, though with some issues. There we go, wipe the MD-42, that's actually a victory there, though. I would say a rather brutish victory that cost him his fuel point and a lot of the rest of the map here. So the question here is, was it actually worth it for Fortune? Was this a fight worth fighting? I guess we'll find out, but so far, sort of immediately, the answer is not looking to be yes, at least not from my perspective. Feel free to disagree. Trench finally went down there to mortar fire. Troops are healing, reinforcing for making ready for the next big push against the Hun. CCarts here is already moving ahead, taking up. I mean, he's got 2 fuel points. Actually had them now for a bit of a while there, so I mean, just moving ahead fast there for armor is certainly going to put some serious pressure on Fortune, who realizes his awkward situation, goes for special weapons and begins calling in tank hunter sections, basically because he's anticipating some kind of vehicle and armor and wants to be ready for it. CCarts filling up here with Panzergrenadier. So both players here are going to go heavy in the infantry. Grenadiers, Stormtroopers, Panzergrenadier versus infantry sections and tank hunter sections. About 5 of each, actually. That's going to be rather aggressive. Also something here by that CCarts actually went for double pioneers at some point. So getting blasted. He's actually trying to repair the barbed wire just to make it harder for CCarts to push through. Sneaky bastard that. Bold bastard too. So we can see now, meanwhile, he's just putting up pressure. He's grabbing as much as he can the rest of the map here. The Grenadiers, or Stormtroopers scored up there. He's making it a bit harder to push through there. And now he's just basically waiting to go out. So, can we move yet? I don't want to stand out here all day. This is terribly exposed. You can build the light making us come, it's not quite yet going. Then we got the Panzer section on the Panzer Grenadiers, so that's basically what we're waiting for. And that suddenly forces Fortune's armoured car to fall back. And of course, it then denies CCarts and an infantry unit could be quite good against all these unupgraded sections. So, not quite too good there, I think. But oh well, got a good hit in there. Panzerfaust as well, almost taking out Fortune's AC as he falls back there through the dusty roads of Semoisky town centre. Tank on the section there trying to do something, but that doesn't quite work, and instead results in the complete destruction of the church as a bomb grenade shatters the interiors. Unfortunately, they're now gaining a fat chunk of everything else. They might want to see if we can't grab some fuel point here fast enough. If not the northern one, then the southern one.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
CCarts can now be building a Semoisky and push fast against Fortune with more tanks and more panzers. We should see what it ends up with. In the section here, he's moving towards the southern fuel point. Armoured car being repaired will have to fall back soon. It's got Grenadiers advancing on the car point. Pioneers push back, grab the point here, cutting off the northern fuel here for CCarts. But the southern one still stands untouched.
Supply line.
Tank on the section moving up with another section supporting here. Section there is still immovable. And go caught the mortar crew there with the Lee Enfields and boys anti-tank rifles, pushing them back, causing quite a bit of grief there for CCarts troops. Still no support corps being constructed or ordered. Oh, it looks like something happened there. He's also setting up munitions there for a medic bunker. There's a bit short. Some of all these upgrades, though, of course, are quite expensive. Troops pushing forwards there under cover from the tank runner sections. Getting a few kills there. Half check available there for Fortune. We could use it to quickly call up some Vickers Ks and possibly also some Piers if he needs it. Of course, it does delay teching a bit. But there you go. Fine hitting a fuel point there. In this case, the southern one, though. He's still going to need to grab either this point or this point to actually get it connected. So it's a bit weird there for Fortune. He's almost got most of the map, but he's at the same time almost got none of it connected. CCarts setting up for the Panzer IV. Having spent munitions something else, you can't go for a medic bunker. Going in for a replacement tank on the section and lost the second one to, or the first one to German fire. Looks like a mortar arm. I killed them there, so treated as something else. Either way, they are dead. Quite dead. M3 half in hot pursuit, dropping down those Vickers Ks. Trench in the centre to make it harder there for him to push through. Section something about in the south. He can almost get a lot of fuel now, but he's still behind CCarts, who's going there for his first Panzer IV. And all Fortune's really got to stop him with a 6-pounder gun and a pair of anti-tank rifles, which might at least be enough to force CCarts to be a bit more careful, unless he's really, really good with his Panzer IV and some good flanks. We shall see what it ends up with. But now CCarts is getting twice as much fuel here, or Fortune's getting as much fuel as CCarts, twice as much. Panzer IV almost down there for CCarts and the second Panzer to be sure. Grabbing the still remaining here. In fact, he's not going to upgrade the Stormtroopers. Granted, his priority is probably other stuff, like for example a medic bunker, once he gets the munitions for that. Section ready with a trench, but have yet to decide they actually want to occupy that trench. But Sergeant, Lewis trenches always stinks. No, they don't. They do. Shut up, you two. I'll slap you very hard. But Morton Plate is going to make it much harder here for CCR to attack through it. It's only going to give Fortune there some artillery superiority. Very good move. Certainly also highlights the CCR's been a bit too passive, waiting too long to attack. Oh wait, attack goes through the centre here. Panzer IV versus the section there. And immediately Fortune can't really respond. I mean, this is rather far away from his main force, so the Panzer IV can just quickly push away anything there. And we can now see that Fortune is making a small move towards the center. He can move up the half to support further, but he's probably worried about Pack 40s or Panzer 6 hiding around the corner. And he does not particularly feel like losing the M3 half tank, as it is not the toughest thing in the world. And actually quite expensive to replace if you have to keep going for them. Panzer 4 continuing up here from the south, launching an assault here, though needs to be a bit careful about that. He doesn't know what there is and isn't. There we go. More templates on the front from the Panzer 4. A 75mm round lands directly square on it. There you go, forcing it to brace, essentially suppressing the mortar emplacement, which could allow CCarts to push through the centre. But most of his forces are still hanging back at his base. He's seemingly still waiting for medics or something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but he's got so much troops here standing about, doing absolutely nothing for CCarts. Which certainly does not strike me as particularly efficient. Fortune sensing an opportunity here, goes straight for the unsupported Panzer 4. It's going to go down, The 6-pounder gun's going to be able to fire here. Oh, the armoured car will. He's a sliver help though, the Panzer 4. CCarts lack the support. He was too slow to get out there as well. No! Fortune does not pursue, allowing CCarts Panzer 4 to get out there, though of course he's still denying him a lot of other resources and getting most of them out that way. So CCarts is going to need that fix, but he's also needs to actually have to push a bit harder against Fortune here. He's giving Fortune way too much time to prepare defences, and overall making it harder for CCarts to launch an assault when he finally does get around to it. He's also going for a third Pioneer squad to assist with repairs further against Fortune. 52nd Infantry Division is doing quite well. And we got, by the looks of it, another trench here. Further forwards in the village. North the harassment going on. He's just cutting off point. He's not even grabbing them, he's just denying them to CCarts.
One extra soldier can be added to infantry squads now.
Munitions cache there from CCarts. Interesting choice. Not a fuel cache, maybe for more armour faster, but instead a munitions cache for more munitions for grenades and whatnot. Maybe some assault rifles for the stormtroopers. No. In fact, the stormtroopers just aren't doing anything there for CCarts. Like, that's a 340 manpower unit, which could actually be, providing quite an edge there to his engagement. It's just having a nice break up there. It honestly feels like a bit of a waste there by CCarts. Just a bit. And there we go, we got a half-tick assault. Catching the mortar off guard there is to conduct a drive-by shooting in the most British of manners. Because that's what the British are known for. Drive-by shootings. Tally-ho, I say. Take that, you bastards. Then he's in trouble as well. The Vickers case, of course, allowing him to put down a lot of firepower there. Half-track supporting as well. Got the Panther 4 dashing in, though, to put an end there to the half-track. And he's going to get it there. He's going to get it. But he's still going to have lost the mortar there and almost an entire Grenadier squad. So quite a nasty little assault there by Fortune. Quite nasty. But the anti-tank, though, makes him quite vulnerable to a Panzer 4 counter-attack. There you go, section sent running. Half-track on fire, armoured car moving about there. In this case, the trench is actually causing a bit of a problem for Fortune, making it harder in case Panzer or armoured car are there. Bit of harassment in the east, but that's quickly halted here by some section members with the Vickers K as well. Almost got the AC though is... Ah! Almost got the Panzer 4 there, mobilised, almost knocked it out, but it does get away, but so does the AC, which itself is also low on health. Largely due to the fact there's no infantry to support it, no Panzerjägers because they were down here, no other Grenadiers because they're, well, not there. And the Stormtroopers continue to do absolutely bugger all. So Helmut, have you heard anything from headquarters? Nine, just static. Alright, don't you think we should do something about these gunshots? Nine. I'm sure they're just celebrating a glorious victory for Germany. Alright. And another Panzer 4 for CCarts, no Stooks. Granted, he's not particularly feeling a lot of pressure there from Fortune's armour, since he still has a fuel advantage there, so that makes sense. As for Fortune, he's not taking up. He might feel pressure, just try to play for the crocodile. Bit risky in some ways, gives CCarts more time to bring out armour. And at this point, he should be aware that CCarts has gone for elite troops, so Tigers are definitely a possibility that CCarts will need to be mindful of. Gonna use the armoured car there. Gains veterancy 2. Got that mortar working for King and Country now.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
A lot of VKK sections moving in. In fact, he got almost all of the sections upgraded with them to a certain degree. Then he's about to get wiped out. Not a well-conceived assault here by CCarts, and the price was high. His men got it and slaughtered. Transfer rolling in, pushing back the section there. Hit some mine. Grenadiers wiped by a mortar hit there. CCarts is suddenly suffering heavy losses here to his men. Down to just one Grenadier squad, one Stormtrooper squad, which by the way is still doing nothing, and his Panzerjägers. Whereas Fortune still has all of his 4 original infantry sections plus a tank hunter section.
We're losing a capture point.
So old CCarts really got going for nice the 2 Panzer IVs. So it's starting to look a bit risky there for CCarts for all these infantry losses.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Pushing it with Pioneers, they're forming up a Sturm unit, but held back here by the infantry section of the Vickers case. 3rd Pioneer squad moving in.
Wireless intercept.
Trench destroyed.
Our forward position has been destroyed.
And an anti-tank grenade on the Panther, which gained Vetsi 2 by gaining Schutzen. Flooding manpower. Not much point in doing it now. He's certainly far off from the Tiger Ace. More infantry on the hand would be a really good idea.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
Interesting note, while he has research... Oh, he actually counted that research, never mind then. But he's pushing towards, he's going to attack the Stormtroopers. We're finally going to see some action. Stuff's going to happen, and they are completely under-equipped for it because they still haven't upgraded with anything. No G43s, no assault rifles. And now they're going to be facing off against a lot of Vickers Ks and a lot of angry sections. Down to 1 member already. Did get 1 in return, but they're quickly moving up here to the south with only 1 window, meaning that's going to be a definite loss. In fact, he's going to have to retreat right now to avoid a wipe if he then stays much longer. Because there's going to be a lot of big escapes from a lot of veteran infantry covering the escape path here. Meanwhile, got the Panther bringing up his straight into the anti-tank guns and armoured cars. And they're getting immobilised right in front of it all. Popping smoke here. Takes a ripped hit. Bomb grenade off. And still loses the Panther 4. Quite lost there for CCarts. Underestimated Fortune's use of the AC and the target treadability. Not the most well-executed assault, certainly like infantry, and he also lost the Stormtroopers up north. So that is quite brutal there for CCarts. Fortune also now throwing quite a bit of resource. They could easily afford to take out for medium armour. As for CCarts, he needs to get more troops out, and he needs to preserve his infantry and armour a bit better than this.
Where do you want us? We're losing a capture point.
Rear hit there by the AC on the Panther 4. Pops smoke pretty rapidly and then decides to get out of there. Takes another hit. Another Panther 4 for CCarts, but still no infantry. Pioneers went on mines. Was noting no flamethrowers, by the way. Prime Flammenwerfers. And there you go. Crocodile now available here for Fortune. Immediately calls it in. And now he's going to lose that second Panther 4 as well. Unless he gets really lucky, and looks like he does. Unless AC might still try and go for it. He's still going for it. Panzerjäger's moving in. Keep pulling back the Panther. Oh, he got it. And the Panther Grenadiers refuse to fire. And only a single rocket connected, leaving it with a tiny sliver of health there. CCarts still on manpower. Of course, he might now end up trying to set up for the Tiger AC versus Fortune to punch through with that, but CCarts in a pretty weak position than others. Fortune, pretty weak. The VKSK section certainly turning things around there a lot for Fortune, but also CCarts refuses yet to get replacement troops is certainly not benefiting him. That and throwing away that veteran Panzer IV I think was also a bit of a mistake.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
Pushing up the Panzer IV here, catching the anti-tank and out in the open. There you go, got the Crocodile, we got the AC moving in against it. There we go, slowing it down. Got the 6-pounder gun. The problem is he's stuck right in front of a Crocodile with an AC supporting it, and he's got no support for this Panzer IV. The Panzer is back here reinforced, but they're not ready. There we go. Still slowed down. Veteranly free on the AC, but the problem is the Panzer IV is going to be able to get on in time here, and there you go. Down it goes, leaving CCarts now without any armor at all. Pretty much sort of railroading him onto the Tiger Ace path now. So he's getting replacements. He's got no other counter here to the Crocodile. Panzerjäger's moving out. Getting a few hits there, but not enough. Losses being inflicted, almost running at the Panzerjäger unit, but he's also really close there to the AC. Actually needs to start reinforcing. Looks like he realizes this. Loses the Panzerjäger, so he's really close to the AC. Really close. Question is Fortune expecting it? Because so far the way he's driving around the inside of CC's base, he is not. Which could prove to be the exact opening that CCarts needs. Bunker down. Now he's just down to 3 Pioneer squads and a Grenadier squad as he waits for the Tiger Ace. This is going to be really difficult there for CCarts to get back from. But it does help that besides the Crocodile, though, Fortune will actually be really short-handed now to deal with the Ace. Those sticking in here around the car one. There you go. Got the Ace out for CCarts. Going straight there for the Crocodile, striking hard. Nasty hits there. Section walking straight to the base there. Machine gun bunker's gone. And he's going to steal the Panzerschreck from within CCarts base. Almost got the Crocodile there. The trench actually makes it a bit hard for it to get out. Almost got it there. Almost got it. We got positions being dug in. Almost got the Crocodile. One more shot. One more shot. And there you go. Out of control. It is down. It is down. Britische Panzer kaputt. But he's getting flanked here. Surrounded by British infantry with all sorts of things. Blitzing out of there just to be sure. Crushing half the section there with the Panzerschreck. 6-pounder gun moving up. He's going to need to fall back with that Tiger Ace soon and get it fixed up. As for Fortune, it would still benefit, I think, from taking out, maybe going for something else to counter it. Well, he's fixing up his AC. That's unfortunate. There's sometimes when an anti-tank is accrued, at times it just stops working. It's a bit of weird fact that happens, or glitch with support weapons, which is rather unfortunate. Bad luck there for Fortune though, really bad luck. Oh, there you go, it suddenly started working again once one of the crew members was annihilated. But down he goes. He's trying the trench, fixing up the Tiger Ace, which is now CCarts' only real sort of offensive element back on the field. Pioneers taking losses. Need to fall back there for full repairs. Bit safer spot, Grenadiers holding out here, no upgrades for them. Fortune by the way finally taking up. Perhaps realise he's going to need something a bit more than just a Crocodile to take on the Tiger Ace at this stage. Firefly would be the best choice. He also needs to grab the northern fuel pump bar. He's not connected that one at all. It has been disconnected. There you go. 3 Pioneer squads hard to work on the Tiger Ace, fixing up, getting it back in action as fast as humanly possible here. Might not be Michael Wittmann, but it's going to give the British quite a headache. Fortune flanked with another £6 again. He tries to stall for time here. Pushing out the ace, perhaps thinking he can't really afford to wait about much longer. And these by Cup stand to be upgraded with some weapons, G for the feast, light machine guns will all be good choices there for Mr. CCarts. But he seems not very interested in upgrading when you're improving the firepower versus all of Fortune's troops. It feels a bit weird. Almost got that ace good to go again. Section flanking, the Grenadiers will need to retreat more or less immediately thanks to the Vickers Case and all the veterans that you got there. There you go. Quick retreat. Tiger is heading out once more for the fatherland, the second panzer to be shown. In place, medic bankruptcies and pioneers in such a terrible state that if you try something out, they're going to get wasted. He can't afford that with this current state of manpower, so he desperately needs a medic banker no matter what. Almost got the change, got the AC moving in. Shoots the Tiger Ace, misses. Medic bunker almost done up north. Grenadiers versus the section. Still no upgrades on the Grenadiers. Moving in the Ace to support the Grenadier though. And there you go, you can see Fortune realize what's going on. He immediately tries to retreat here before his men get pulped by Kruppstiel. Second name being pushed back by the Tiger Ace. The Tiger tank was made by Henschel. There's also one made by Porsche, which is actually in many ways quite advanced, but also not quite practical for the German industry to make. And lastly was overall scrap because while Porsche was in many ways a clever designer, he was not a very practical designer. So, little fun fact there. Of course, he still made some ahead of time, which was sort of used, but most of them were converted towards the Ferdinand tank destroyer, which of course later be redesignated as the Elephant tank destroyer. AC moving in, he's going to rush straight at the Tiger Ace with it, and pop smoke, then pop. No, he's going to fire a bit from the smoke again. Really risky play there, Fortune, before then disengaging. Those are some highly aggressive tactics. It's an attempt to stall CCarts Tiger Ace. Clever though, I'll give him that. Lost a section, Vickers K then now in the hands of CCarts Grenadiers, giving them at least some kind of firepower that way. Tank on the section moving up, you need to be careful that Tiger Ace in fact needs it repaired. Trying to get that 6-pounder gun crew and destroy the gun itself. 20 kills for Deutschland. Got the Pioneers rushing. Got a Stug following up here for CCarts. Not too shabby. Fortunately, still some time for him to be able to go for a Firefly. He still hasn't grabbed that fuel point. Perhaps he'll preoccupy with the Tiger Ace and its massive weight on the battlefield. Fixing that one up pretty rapidly.
Anti-tank gun and crew now ready for action.
Stug on the way. And the south got a section hitting the fuel point there. There you go, Stug for CCarts. Sending out the Ace for the fatherland. Coming up in the trench there, high explosive rounds flying at it, shocking the troops inside it, but they are mostly safe for now. As we got Pioneers moving, there you go. Got the AC moving again, shoots straight at the Tiger Ace, shot bounces off. Shoots through the ruins there to shoot. Oh, gets a penetrating hit, then the Ace gets a penetrating hit. Another hit there. He's actually getting a surprisingly large amount of efficiency out of it. Shoots back though, takes a hit there. He can actually go for the Firefly now. Probably should do so here versus the Ace. If you can actually then land a good hit with the target, try to immobilize him in front of the Firefly, something that's pretty great for Fortune. Though he's about to lose the Ace, if he's not careful to the Ace. In fact, they almost got the same letters, AEC, basically. 6 Pentagon almost taking out. Here's 6 Pentagon from the Tiger from the front. Need to fall back though, need to fall back.
We've lost an anti-tank gun.
And go destroyed it, but he's about to lose the ace, forced to fall back. CCarts is not making much progress. He's got the Stroop, but it's not doing anything to support it. Up pressure elsewhere, so it feels like a bit of a weird choice here. Fortune dinging around by all the fuel points. Now we've got a Farfel on the way there. He's still got all of his 3 Pioneer squads, but it's going to do still feel a bit under equipped. He's actually laying down bunkers now, trying to protect. There goes. He rushing in. Gets the main gun on the ace, actually calling in artillery. He's almost got the ace with the AEC. What the devil? And the AEC scores the killing blow on the Tigers. Pop smokes and get away artillery raining down, wiping out most of CCarts Pioneers. That AC has seen quite a bit of mileage here. Has done quite a bit there for Fortune. This is an ace AC.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
And he gets the Stug as well. And with this, CCarts surrenders. The 2nd Panzer Division's assault has been broken and stalled here by the 52nd Infantry Division and 1 heroic AC. An ace AC here from Fortune. That really did a lot of good for him there again. Made it harder for CCarts to make use of Panzer Force. He underestimated repeatedly, and particularly charged straight the anti-tank gun, which by the way was not the best attack there to able to commit. I mean, CCarts played well in the early game, but sort of struggled to the mid game to really push into the late game, partly because he got overconfident with his Panzer Force, didn't support them properly with infantry, was also not very good at getting replacement infantry, making it much harder for him to support his panzers. So I think that was sort of one mistake there for CCarts as the game went on. On the other hand, Fortune also just kept, attacking from different angles, made really good use of the armoured car, its smoke, and the target tread ability, make much harder there for CCR to do what he wanted to. Good use of the half ticket for a bit while it lasted, but more important in the Vickers case. Also played a large role there in Fortune overwhelming CCR, who again was not very good at upgrading his infantry in response. So a lot going on this match. I think overall a pretty interesting match. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe to your friends, share it with everyone. And of course, a big thanks to all my Patreon supporters who have supported me on a daily basis, and without which I would not be able to do this. So thank you all, and see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye.